So, I mean, doing autographs, doing the whole thing, there's got to be one or multiple moments that stand out that's like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. There's got to be, because we all know this is a big world out there. It's a big car enthusiast world. And we are happy to be in this business. However, there is some unique individuals.
Are you getting at, like, you're saying something that's like just a really cool experience? Like he's excited?
No, I don't really care about the cool experience.
Or more like, look at this. This is my Chris Jacobs mural tattoo.
Yeah, I'm looking for more of that.
That's where you're headed with it?
I signed at Rod Run, Pigeon Forge Rod Run last year. I signed a guy's head. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
The thing that really kind of is I don't know, gross or whatever. It's like, if you've got sweaty palms, you got sweaty palms, right? Just give me the knuckles. Just give me the knuckles.
Yeah. Post COVID, you can get away with the knuckles. So
don't reach out and give me the full sponge handshake. I mean, I'm good knuckling it. Just as meaningful.
I'm just looking.
But
nothing worse than a clammy dead
Purell is my friend at these appearances.
Welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original. I am Josh Henning.
I'm Phil Gerber.
I'm Jeremy Gerber.
Welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original. Today's guest, none other than Chris Jacobs. Back again, man. Chris Jacobs returns.
Yeah. Happily. Part deux.
So what's been going on? Yeah, you mentioned being out there at Car Week. We've been following the social media. Just about everybody's been out there. It's pretty cool shit, for sure.
It just gets better every year. I mean, it really is the Super Bowl and New Year's Eve all rolled into one if you're a car person. And, I mean, it's like a family reunion. I see people that I only see at Car Week, and it's just like picking up right where we left off. So really, really cool. I was on there on behalf of Hagerty. I'm a brand ambassador for them. And then also I did Mecum on Friday, Saturday. And of the 10 Mecums a year that we do, this one's a little different because it does kind of fall in line with Monterey. You get a lot more Ferraris and Porsches than Camaros and Mustangs. So interesting to see that kind of shift in the normal Mecum culture. So I'm exhausted, but happily exhausted. It's just go, go, go. And I'll tell you what, we made the smartest move this year because the one drawback of Car Week on the Monterey Peninsula is the traffic. Because there's really, there's two lane roads everywhere, meaning, one way each way. And so I contacted this company called Vintage Electric Bikes, and they hooked us up with a couple electric bikes for the week. And my buddy and manager Reed and I were blitzing them around the peninsula. We ended up riding them for 104 miles during the week. So yeah, it was great. Tons of fun. So just a little plug for them, Vintage Electric Bikes. They're awesome looking and awesome performing. And they've been in business for about 10 years and they're kicking ass.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a great means of transportation. I was just out at the Air and Water show in Chicago and trying to grab an Uber, next to impossible when you're leaving. Hop on a little Divvy electric scooter, and 3 miles into the Gold Coast.
Yeah. The Vintage are a little cooler than the Divvy bikes. I like the Divvy bikes for convenience, but the Vintage bikes are like, super cool form and function.
What's Chris Jacobs apparel for Monterey Car Week? Is that loafers, no socks? Is that
is that ankles showing or
athletic cut like sports coat? What's
seersucker?
I want to know.
Ascot and ankles.
Yeah.
I did that 2 years ago. A lot of people like to dress up like of the period.
Yeah.
Pre-war. So Vanessa was up there with me a couple of years ago, and we actually dressed period correct. And that was a lot of fun, but it's also a little high maintenance, because you got to bring a bunch of stuff up to the peninsula, in order to have the proper wardrobe for all the events you go to. So most of the time it's t-shirt and jeans and a hat. Certainly for Mecum it is, but you got to bring a couple sports coats with you for the Hagerty house events. And I went to a Bentley event. And so those are a little bit more upper crusty. So you got to have the suit coat. But I got this really dope Robert Graham jacket with these like moray skulls on it, and always gets a lot of attention. So it's kind of still a little bit rock and roll, but appropriate for Monterey Car Week.
Styling.
So what are you out there doing for Hagerty in particular?
Yeah, mainly it's just kind of promoting the brand, just being there at the various events. They have a lot of their big customers who come to these events. They rent a house in the Monterey Peninsula, the Del Monte Forest, and then they put on these events every night. And they have guest speakers, like for instance, this year McLaren sponsored a night, and they had Bruce McLaren's daughter, and also one of the executives from McLaren there. And that was really cool to hear her take on everything. She actually is an ambassador for McLaren now. And they're just talking about their new sports cars and their history in F1 and the Can-Am series and Le Mans. So, it's things like that. And so I'm just there kind of to be there, I guess, and obviously a lot of people recognize me from Overhaulin, and we get to talk about that. And Motor Lux, which happens on Wednesday night. It's kind of the kickoff event of Car Week. Even though Car Week starts on Monday, it really doesn't get rolling until the Motor Lux event. Hagerty puts that on. So I'm there doing the same thing, just, walking around, kind of talking to people and stuff. And then it culminates on Sunday morning with an event that Hagerty puts on. I think this is the 13th year. It's called Dawn Patrol. And Hagerty provides coffee and donuts for all the people who are sick enough or dumb enough to show up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch the first cars roll out onto Pebble Beach's 18th fairway. And it calls Dawn Patrol, and they make hats for it. Like, apparently these hats are super coveted now. And for about the 1,500 people that show up for Dawn Patrol, I think they only make up about 400 to 500 hats. So everyone's like scrambling to get one. And I'm one of the people that passes them out. And so I'm like getting violated and clutched and grabbed, and everyone's trying to get these hats, so people, and you hear all the sob stories, yeah, my grandmother's in the hospital and she really wants a Dawn Patrol hat.
Can I get 3 of them?
So
an uncle, a cousin.
I also have, can you sign one of my nephew, Bob? So that's pretty cool too. And then obviously, Sunday all day is the concours itself, and it's just like, it's sensory overload to the max. I did an Instagram live where I walked just through the race car section, the Ferrari section, the race car section, and the Porsche section. And that was just a very small kind of section of the cars overall. And that was just exhausting to do. Just, from an intake standpoint, it's a long week, but it's the best week of the year. That and SEMA are probably the 2 big events for the year.
Is that where Andy was from Cal Auto, out there debuting that Corvette?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there for that. What was the one that grabbed you? What was the car that you're still thinking about?
Without a doubt, the new Singer 935.
The DLST
study.
Or whatever?
The DLST. Yeah, it's just, I had obviously done a lot of research about it because I love Singer. I'm a total Porsche guy, and Singer is, at the top of the game, in my opinion. And so when that car first came out, I saw the pictures and read the articles, but then to see it in person is just next level. And I'm buddies with a guy named Remus who kind of handles all their cars, and he invited us over to Singer House to have kind of a private look at it so we could really inspect it up close and get in and out of it. And it's off the charts, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, they do an unbelievable job. Love to see that car in person.
The finishes are just like the way they did the black trim on that one in particular. It's just.
What was the Singer that we saw at Lake Forest Sports Car?
It was not a DLS. It was
probably the turbo study. Was it the 930?
It was the green with like the nickel trim, right?
I think that's the 930. Did it have the wide hips and the tail?
It did.
I thought it was the one with that ripper motor in it.
Yeah, well, they did. They upgraded the motor too. That's the thing about Singer. It's like if you stand back like 50 feet, it looks like it could be a stock Porsche, but then when you get up close to it, they have touched everything, and it's kind of like with the flavor of the original Porsche, but they have made it theirs and unique, and just the craftsmanship is off the charts.
That was the first one we'd ever seen in person, and you're 100% right. You could look at pictures all day long. You could be on social media, but there's just something about that car in person. Like, again, the finishes, the fit, it's just something.
The details are all there. You can say it's not like a resto mod. Yeah,
Right.
well
You can't even, you
executed.
really can't even call it a resting line. What's incredible too is, they're known for their 911s, which are based on the 964 version of the 911, and so is the 935 and the 930. They both, the beginnings are 964. So that kind of gives you the idea of what they do to the car. And the first time I ever visited the original Singer facility here in SoCal in Sun Valley, outside the shop, completely surrounding the shop, were 964 skeletons that had chalk numbers on them, and those were the numbers of production that they were going to do. They've since moved into this very modern, very big facility down in El Segundo. But if you saw this, I think it was like a converted metal shop or something. I mean, something is very, dark and dingy and gross from the outside. And then what they're putting out from inside this building was just mind blowing. But their new facility in El Segundo is much more appropriate for the cars that they're putting out.
Oh yeah. I've seen a few pictures of it, just loaded with lifts. Absolutely beautiful architecture inside the building. You get an idea. What's the rough number of, what kind of volume do those guys do? What are they putting out annually?
It's not a lot. I want to say they're, and don't quote me because I'm not for sure, but I think it's around 300 of the original Singers that they're putting out. And I know that the 930, the turbo study, and certainly the 935, the DLTS are very low production numbers, maybe even built to order.
Just saw this weekend, 2 of them sold at auction for like 1.5, 1.6.
The 911 versions?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reimagined. Yeah, I mean, their value is just incredible. And, obviously the aftermarket for them is very strong. I don't know if they loosened up the rules on the aftermarket sales, but I know that originally they had a built-in right of first refusal. If the original owner wanted to sell, they had the opportunity to buy it back first.
Well, you've been quite busy since your last time on here. So tell us a little bit about the new venture, man. You didn't even hint about that going on.
Yeah, we were in the dark.
Yeah,
last one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was actually, I think the last time I was on the show was right before I got in business with, I think you're talking about Finale Speed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, very, very happy that we are now in an exclusive partnership with Roadster Shop.
We're breaking news right here on the podcast.
Yes. In fact, I just found out about it today. And I'm just stoked because, obviously you say Roadster Shop, and anybody who is worth their salt in the car industry knows exactly who you guys are and what you guys do. And, it's the combination of the technology, the reliability, and the name recognition. That's just a trifecta of love. And so, yeah, we're very stoked. In fact, I think our first couple of chassis that we're going to be putting under some chargers that we're building are going to be shipped out to us very, very soon. And then with regularity after that. So yeah, Finale Speed, we manufacture both 70 chargers and 1969 Camaros, completely carbon fiber. And we debuted at Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale last year with the Camaro. We most recently had the 70 Charger at the Dodge booth at Roadkill Nights just a couple weeks ago. And then we're very happy to announce that we're going to be producing a 69 Camaro convertible, a roller version of which will be in the Dynamat booth at SEMA this year. And we're super stoked about that one too.
Well, that's awesome, man. And likewise to you about recognizing quality. We saw that first car out there at Barrett Jackson Scottsdale, and immediately we're taken back. It was like, man, that's like quality is really there. So could not be more happy to enter into an exclusive agreement. And
absolutely, man. Every
Finale Speed Camaro and Charger being built from here on out.
Yeah, we are absolutely stoked to align with you guys. It's some high quality stuff, killer styling. Love what you guys are doing. So pleasure to be a part.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's going to be a great partnership going forward for many, many years. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to SEMA because that actually will be the 1-year anniversary that I connected with Finale Speed and got into business with them. And they kind of rely on me to use my experience in the industry and my connections to make these cars as good as they can be. And certainly, the stuff that you can't see underneath everything, which is Dynamat, I consider them to be the best sound deadening material in the business. So not only to be in business with them and also being displayed in their booth is quite an honor for us. And we hope to get a lot of exposure and recognition this year at SEMA from them.
Well, how did that partnership all come about with you and
Finale? It's really just between myself and Finale.
Right.
It was literally, I walked up to the car in the Dodge booth. It was a roller. It was the 70 Charger, which is now a complete car that was just displayed at Roadkill Nights. But it was a roller, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, this is unbelievable. Is this a wrap? These weaves are perfectly lined up. This is an incredible aesthetic experience as well as a functional experience. On the Camaro, we shave about 1,000 pounds off the stock weight of the car by using these carbon fiber panels. So obviously, there's a reason for using it besides it just being absolutely beautiful to look at, the exposed carbon. So I got to talking to a couple of the representatives that were there, and we exchanged information. And we kept in touch after SEMA and decided that, hey, I think I've got something to offer you guys, and let's make this work. And we just it just grew organically, that relationship. And I think that over the years of being in the industry, like you guys, I recognize quality companies that are putting out a good product, and so I aligned myself with them, and it's been a great experience so far.
That's awesome,
man. Well, tell us a little bit about the cars. What's the power plant, transmission? What's the kind of general performance?
So the Camaro's got the LT4 with the Tremec 6-speed, the T56 backing it up, and we got Wilwood brakes all the way around. Magnet flow exhaust. I just heard impact. Is that all right?
Oh yeah, that one went down the wrong tube. A little spicy.
Spit take. So that's it for the Camaro, and then we're throwing Hellcat motors into the Chargers. And what's great about what we do also is we will build the car to whatever level of completion that you want. If you want it just a pure roller, we'll give you that. If you want the brake lines installed and the brakes and the exhaust and suspension and all that stuff, we'll do that. If you want just everything except interior, we'll do that, or we'll give you an absolutely complete car too. And we have options as to what we offer as far as power plants go, as far as interiors go, as far as wheels and tire package go, brakes. So, we're kind of, we're throwing it back to bespoke almost. The customer meets with us, they tell us what they're looking for. We can paint the car any color that they want. In fact, the 69 convertible that's going to be in the Dynamat booth at SEMA is going to be a candy apple orange, which is such a cool look. And, the fiber just shines right through that. We're just, we let the customer dictate what they want, and then we deliver that to them.
What's the lead time?
They all will have Roadster Shop chassis. That's the only non-negotiable.
Right on. Right.
That's what I like to hear. What's the lead times on a full tilt? They want it, they're going to pick it up and turn the key and drive it home.
Well, I'd like to say as soon as possible, but that depends a lot on you guys as well. How soon can you get us a chassis?
I think we've worked that out today. There was a lot of negotiation back and forth, but I think we've came to a mutually beneficial agreement.
Good deal. So with that being said, I think a complete car, we can probably get to someone between, 7 and 9 months. Obviously if they want a little bit less done to it, we can get a little bit more quickly, but we have a great relationship with our carbon guys, Brothers Carbon. And those are the guys who, just are experts and artists in making those panels line up and fit perfectly. So, we're very confident in the partners that we work with and getting these cars put together and getting to the customer in a reasonable time. Because, we all know those stories of ordering a custom car and then it's like 2 years go by and you still don't have it, So we know that you want this car as soon as possible, and that's what we're striving to get it to you.
Yeah, the fit of that carbon package probably helps streamline that quite a bit, because big hang up in building a custom car is fitting the sheet metal, rust repair, trying to bring that car like just back to a workable state. So I'd assume that all that, I mean, the design work on the carbon, the molds, the stuff must just be so spot on that, and it has to be, because when you're hanging a fender, you certainly can't manipulate that carbon fiber fender. So it needs to be pretty well designed to land right in place, which must kind of expedite the process, I'd imagine.
You know, that's a great point. And I kind of got bamboozled early in my career because, you know, on Overhaulin, obviously we were taking absolute train wreck cars and turning them around in a week. And so I didn't quite realize until later that, yeah, exactly. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize till later that, you know, it takes a lot longer than we made it look. And so, yeah, having the carbon fiber panels ready to go, eliminating all of that fitment and, you know, cutting out the cancer, things like that really saves a lot of time, obviously. We also do steel cars. You know, we put out a couple steel cars, but of course our focus and moving forward, we're going to concentrate on the carbon fiber cars. Where
are all these built at?
They're built in a little city outside of Oklahoma City called Yukon, Oklahoma. And yeah, it's a great team. Got a lot of space out there, and so, you know, all the stations have their own focus. But you know, that's a lot of great guys are working for Finale Speed out there, and I'm just so proud of the guys and the perseverance and the stick-to-itiveness of this past year. You know, we're a young company. We're only about a year and a half old, so we're really just starting to get our foothold in the industry right now, and obviously a lot of legitimacy based on relationships like the one with you guys. And so we're hoping that SEMA is kind of our anniversary, because that was kind of our coming out party last year. So I'm hoping that this SEMA we're going to make just even more strides. We're going to have the Charger, the 70 Charger, that's a complete car now, in the Wheel Pros booth. And they will be debuting a new wheel on the Charger. So that's a little bit of breaking news too. That's going to be really cool to see the debut of that dope new wheel. I've seen renderings of it, and it's really badass.
Nice. Is that working on the American Racing brand side?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure. I don't have enough information to know which brand it's going to be. I believe that Wheel Pros has their own brand within the overall company, so it may be on that. But that's something that's remains to be seen until the debut at SEMA.
Nice.
TBD.
Are you guys
TBD?
Are you selling all the individual carbon fiber panels, fenders, hoods, or are they just reserving them for your full builds?
Yeah, no, you know, we've gotten a lot of questions about that actually. But no, we when you buy from us, you're getting, you know, a car, whether it be a roller or a complete car, you're getting a car. We're not selling our individual components. We may in the future, but you know, we don't want to get into that kind of secondary market business of just selling parts. We want to sell cars. And so that's what we're doing.
In the design on all of these, are they very true to original, or are you modifying, enhancing, modernizing anything on them?
No, they are absolutely true to the original. What we do is we either one of two ways. We either scan the body or just pull molds directly off of the body. That's what we did for the Camaro. So it is to the millimeter an exact 69 Camaro.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, moving on a little bit. I know you just got back from Fuller's big shindig down there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, Brian Fuller I'm so proud of that guy. You know, he's such a great guy and so well-deserved. He's got this beautiful display now at the Savoy Museum in Georgia. And you really can't appreciate a craftsman and the level of what they're doing until you see like a body of work together.
Sure.
And so to see all these creations side by side, and they're all coming out of his shop, and it was really amazing. And he's so humble and so talented, and it was just so great to see him honored in this way. And I was honored to be there and speak on his behalf at the reception. And then to go to his shop, I had never been to his shop before. So we had a little mixer party at his shop the night before. And that was really fun too, to see where these cars are created. And then to go to the museum and see the creations themselves. You know, I go back with Fuller 20 years now. You know, we started Overhaulin in October of 2003, if you can believe it. So we're coming up on 20-year anniversary of Overhaulin. And, you know, he's a very close friend, and I'm just so stoked for his success. And this is exactly what he should be doing. He's concentrating on building cars, but he's also, you know, got his mug on TV once in a while. He was just recently announced as Courtney Hansen's new, I guess, shop manager or project manager. You know, he's essentially her co-star. You know, Brian's a savvy TV guy, so that's going to be really fun to see the new season of Ride of Your Life with Fuller on there too.
Yeah. Don't you just hope you have that much energy when you're 58 or 59 years old, whatever Fuller is?
How old is he?
He's close to 60.
Get out of here. You're fucking crazy.
Hey, well, shit, I'm close to 60. I'm 53, so I'm right on Fuller's tail. So I'm hoping I expect to have that much energy. I don't think Fuller's that much older than I am. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm just throwing a shot at him, actually. But
you're just throwing some darts, launching some grenades.
It's rare you can make fun of somebody for being old.
Yeah, he's definitely older than me, but he's got way more energy than me. That's for sure. That dude's got some energy.
Yeah, he's on the chip, man. He's on the fucking rev limiter all the time. I'll give it to him.
He does. He's got the love. You know, it's funny. Obviously, you guys follow him on social media too, so you see what he's doing. He's always going somewhere and doing something. And I mean, he's the real deal. He lives the life.
Yeah, we wanted to make it out there. Unfortunately, it was Grandma's 90th birthday, so that's one you can't. That's one you can't miss.
Milestone. Does she have Fuller energy at 90?
She's not doing too bad for 90. Yeah, doing pretty solid.
Good deal. Good deal. My stepmom just turned 93 a couple days ago. So
wow.
She's like, I guess 93 is the new 70. She's living it up.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Did y'all get hit bad by the hurricane or whatever out there?
No, man, it was the typical, you know, the sky is falling. You know, Chicken Little was running around. Yeah. LA was going to float away. It was nothing. It was one night of rain. It was, you know, there was a lot of rain, but it was just a night of rain. It wasn't, you know, and the earthquake certainly didn't help in the middle of all of it. You know, they're calling it like the hurricane or whatever. I don't know.
That's almost like a shark. That's like a Sharknado.
Exactly. I was in Monterey where it was beautiful. It was like 78 degrees and sunny. It was amazing how good the weather was up on the peninsula. So I didn't catch any of it. And then we drove down on Monday, and it was smooth sailing all the way. We made it back to Burbank from Monterey in 4.5 hours. It was unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, they're acting crazy here now. They're sending out all the alerts for the schools and stuff. Yeah. We're supposed to have a record heat wave starting tomorrow up to like 105, 106 degrees.
Damn.
And I mean, they're acting like everybody just go south for a few days and come back. Like, cancel.
Fill your bathtub up with ice.
Yeah. We're going to leave the air conditioning on.
It's nuts, man. The amount of, from all over the news, you know, go fill up your gas station, your gas cans, be prepared.
It is crazy.
Like Y2K.
It's funny coming from we just came from Austin, Texas, and they don't give you any sort of warning for that.
Shit.
That needed a warning.
Oh yeah, it's blazing there. Yeah,
that could kill you. This is just like a little heat wave. You know,
I was not prepared.
I was in Phoenix. I was in Phoenix for 5 days, right in the middle of that record run they had of 112 plus days, and that's like, you know, sticking your head in an oven. Step outside, it's crazy. And I did a 2-day Radford racing school during that heat wave run. And, you know, testament to the amazing technology of these Hellcats that they run there. AC blowing cold the whole time. Engine never really got too hot. So, you know, shout out to Dodge for building bulletproof cars up there. We were beating on these things and never overheated.
Man, that's especially with you know, supercharged motors. They got some pretty good intercooler blocks.
Exactly.
I'd assume.
That's
probably melt into the ground.
Quite a challenge for those things. Oh, man. So what's up next? So you got SEMA's the next big show?
Well, I mean, I got some stops before then. You know, the summer's really busy for me because I do the car show circuit. I usually do about probably 8 to 10 appearances. So I've got another one of those. First is another Mecum. I got that in Dallas in a couple weeks. And then I'm coming to Chicago for the Bears home opener. Yeah. I think that's actually first and then Mecum.
You going to come up and see the shop?
I hope so. Yeah. I hope I'm going to have some time to do that. I'm in and out on that weekend, but I'm certainly going to reach out to you guys and hopefully come have a pop with you guys up there.
Yeah,
and then I'm going down to Louisiana for cruising the coast first week of October. And then I'm going to be at McCacken. That's in November, which I think is actually
that's back
after SEMA. So yeah, so then SEMA. So it's I just I got an old pencil and paper calendar in front of me here, and I just turn the page and see what I got going this week.
Non-stop.
You gotta stay.
Yeah, but it's good. Non-stop in a good way. Yeah, exactly.
How is that Cruising the Coast show? We talk about going every once in a while, and you get mixed reviews.
I heard it's great. This is my first time at Cruising the Coast. I've done the Pigeon Forge, the rod run, and that's a great show. It's the same guys who put them on. So I've heard Cruising the Coast is even bigger and better than rod run. So I'm looking forward to it. Christy Lee's going to be down there with me. Christy was with me at the 2-day driving school at Radford. So that was great to see her again. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's also going to be my first time at McCacken. I'm a little bit ashamed to say, as a Chicagoan, I've never been to McCacken before, but I'm stoked about that show too. I was just up in Canada in Thunder Bay, and this guy had a barn find Pontiac up there, and he's bringing it to McCacken. It was unbelievable. Like, the body of the car is pretty weather beaten, but the interior is somehow perfectly preserved. It's really kind of weird. Like, they, it just got shut up. Like, the floorboards are all rusted out and everything, but the seats, the seat frames and the seat covers and everything, it's all perfect. It's like pristine. It's really weird.
It kind of like deteriorated backwards. Usually the interior's
right.
gone,
Exactly.
and then it takes the floor out.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly hate to say it, I'm not even familiar with that show, the McCacken show. What?
Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's at the, is it at McCormick?
Okay.
Oh, Rosemont. That's right. Yeah.
MCCA or whatever.
Yeah. McCacken, MCACN, Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. Yeah.
Man, I'm embarrassed to say it.
That's where the gasser went about 3 or 4 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's all mostly stock original Yenkos and.
Yeah, they had last year. My buddy Dave Wise was contacted by some people who had a '71 Hemi Cuda 4-speed convertible black. That this guy was a Chrysler mechanic. He bought the car. He drove it around. It was just a little too torquey for him, so he parked it and got a New Yorker and drove that around. But he parked this thing in his garage, and it just literally sat there for close to 50 years. And then he finally decided it was time to sell. So that car was on display at McCacken last year. It was kind of one of the highlights. It was like a true, original everything, Hemi Cuda convertible 4-speed. So it's kind of that level of cars that go to McCacken.
Got it.
Like you were saying, a lot of like the super historic stock cars.
So you've done a lot of these. You're going to those shows all over the place, indoor, outdoor.
Yeah.
You're doing, shaking babies, kissing hands, and
you don't shake the babies.
You shake
the
gently,
hands. You shake the hands.
Gently,
You kiss.
yeah.
You
Wake them up
shake
and
the
show
baby.
them a car.
Just a little bit.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. That's on the news. You don't.
We'll look it up after the show.
Google it.
And so, doing autographs, doing the whole thing, there's got to be one or multiple moments that stand out that's like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. There's got to be, because we all know this is a big world out there. It's a big car enthusiast world. And we are happy to be in this business. However, there is some unique individuals.
Are you getting at, like, you're saying something that's like just a really cool experience? Like, he's excited?
No, I don't really care about the cool experience.
Or more like, look at this. This is my Chris Jacobs mural tattoo.
Yeah, I'm looking for more of that.
That's where you're headed with it?
I signed at Rod Run, Pigeon Forge Rod Run last year. I signed a guy's head. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
The thing that really kind of is, I don't know, gross or whatever. It's like, if you've got sweaty palms, you got sweaty palms, right? Just give me the knuckles. Just give me the knuckles.
Yeah. Post COVID, you can get away with the knuckles. So
Don't reach out and give me the full sponge handshake. I'm good. Knuckling it, just as meaningful.
I'm just looking.
But yeah,
nothing worse than a clammy dead
Purell
fish.
is my friend at these appearances.
Well, you've got to think. He just talked about Overhaulin debuted 2003, right?
Yep.
It's 2000. Yeah. It's 20 years ago, right? So you had a significant amount of moms at home with their 8, 9, 10-year-old sons wanting to watch Overhaulin and stuff like that. That love is burned for 20 years. Right.
Oh, that's where you.
Yeah, and they get there and they see old Chris in the flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Chris is a good-looking dude.
Yeah, he ain't aged a bit. Right. He ain't aged a bit, right? And this is their chance. Now, their son's 29 years old, right? Now that's there with mom. There's got to be some of those embarrassing moments. It's like, all right, now move along. We got a long line of autographs to sign.
There's some, I like to, when I take pictures of people, I throw my arm around them, and there are some, some tight squeezes that go on a little bit longer than
grab that arm and rub it down.
Yeah, right. It's not nothing inappropriate, but certainly maybe a little uncomfortable after a while. Well, also the thing that I've been getting lately too is because you mentioned 20 years coming up for Overhaulin are the guys who now are like in their early 30s who tell me that they grew up watching me. I used to watch you as a little kid. I'm like, damn.
That feels good, don't it? That feels real good.
It does for a second till I do the math in my head. And then I go, oh, well, yeah. But it's really cool. I always have time for the fans, man. I never say no as far as wanting a picture or an autograph or even to stop and just chat for a little bit. Because I know that, those people are the reason that I have a career. If no one watched Overhaulin when we were starting out, I wouldn't be on your podcast right now. Overhaulin is my calling card, and it launched me into all these other projects and partnerships that I have today that afford me a living and a lifestyle. And so I'm forever grateful to fans of the show and fans of anything I do. And it's funny, I get a lot of car guys who tell me that they love Long Lost Family too, which is the family show that I did on TLC, where we reunited people who were adopted with their natural families. It's amazing to me how many, dirt under the fingernail car guys are really moved by that show because, maybe they watched it with their wives or maybe they've got the contact themselves with adoption. And so they watch it. But that's really nice to hear too, that, people are really kind of paying attention to everything that I'm doing and not just the car stuff.
Cool. You have you have a lot of fun doing the Mecum stuff.
Man, it's a blast. It's like really a dream job. If someone told you, hey, we're going to give you a microphone and you just walk out into this field of perfect cars and just pick one out and let us know what you want to talk about it. And we'll send a camera out there and do it. And that's my job, and every once in a while I wander up onto the block and I hang out with Scott Hoke and John Craman and Stephen Cox and Bill Stevens and talk about the cars that are coming across the block. And then when I feel like it, I go back out into the tents and talk about whatever car I pick out. So absolute dream job. It's so cool. Really privileged to do that. And I meet a lot of cool people out there in the tents who are walking around and want to say, hey. And my kind of method is I try to not just describe the car that's in front of me, the particular car, but give a little tidbit about the car, like if it's a GTO, you talk about John DeLorean or something like that. So, I rely on Google a lot when I'm out there doing previews in the tents. I do not have all of this information in my head at all times, like Steve Magnante does. But I try to put a little bit of knowledge behind my previews.
Well, it shows that you're having a good time. It's kind of why I asked. I've seen it before, and you can just tell you're relaxed. It's not forced. It's like, holy shit, I'm having a great time. And it comes across. You do a really good job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So we got, I know we asked a bunch of standard questions on the last podcast. I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Some updated ones?
I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm just going to, off the cuff, right?
Oh.
You didn't run these by us ahead of time?
No,
they're not on the notes list.
No, they're not on the notes. They're just going to go with it. What's the most pissed off you've ever seen Chip Foose?
Oh, you're going to laugh. We were at SEMA one time, and it was the night before the show, so it must have been Monday night. And we're walking around, and everything's set. Like all the Teamsters have left, and there's still some stragglers setting up too, but for the most part, things are set up. And we were looking at all the different cars that Chip had in the various booths, and the cleanup crew was in there like vacuuming the carpets, like doing one last vacuum. But it's not the car people setup crew. It's like literally the convention center staff coming in, and this woman was vacuuming and she was hitting the wheels with her vacuum. And Chip went, and I don't think it was Chip's car. I think it might have been a different car in the display that his car was in, but he went and pulled the cord out of the wall. And, that he didn't say anything to the person that was hitting the wheels with the vacuum, but he just kind of pulled the cord out of the wall and then he gave him a look. And I was like, whoa, that's the most pissed off I've ever seen Chip Foose.
He probably didn't get to see him at the Detroit Autorama when a former Roadster Shop employee was helping detail his car.
You going to tell that story?
We might as well, because that could be the most pissed off that Chip Foose has ever been.
I was not there, but I heard the story.
It took a while for me to get the courage to introduce myself to Chip Foose.
Outside chance why he's not on the podcast yet.
No, not outside. That's probably the exact chance.
We go to the Autorama one year, and this is kind of in its heyday.
12?
Yeah, it's like in its heyday, right? Yeah. And we had an employee that worked at the Roadster Shop who was kind of doing some detail type stuff. Former. So he offers up his services after hours to help Chip. Chip had like a team of guys wiping down the underside of this car. Well, I guess he went to implement one of his techniques for cleaning tires, which involves taking lacquer thinner on a rag and wiping down tires. Well, it works good if you don't airbrush the tires specifically for the show, because lacquer thinner takes paint off, right? I think Chip had a little bit of a shit fit over that one. And then shortly after that,
Chip was not happy.
No, he was not happy. But Clay Cook.
And this is probably one of his cars that won the Riddler.
Yeah, I think it still won.
Show.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It ended up winning.
It wasn't sabotage.
If he was there, he won. Yeah,
but that was
Imposter, wasn't it?
It was Imposter.
Yeah.
It was Imposter. Okay, wow. Yeah,
that was the same year that the Carbon Woody was there. That Clay Cook had just got done telling me about all the machine work in the front grill.
Yeah,
my shoulder's still not right.
Same guy. He's
right?
Yeah, he's walking around and decides he's going to step into the booth. Because we're in there talking to Clay and the guys. Trips over the booth, and it's like nothing went out. He just went straight for the grill. He was headed for the grill. This is like 200 and something pound guy, and Phil looked like.
Cat-like dad reflexes.
Oh, yeah. Phil comes flying
Matrix.
Shoulder blocks and out of the way of the grill. So that saved us probably $100,000.
Nicely done. Yeah, I was going to say, if that same guy somehow messed up that carbon fiber grill, man, he would not have made it out of Detroit alive.
He single-handedly almost destroyed $5 million worth of cars at the show.
Yeah.
This is the behind the
my default setting for a show car is do not touch it. And do not offer to do anything to it.
Yes.
I mean, they got even if they ask, just be like, nah, I'm good. I'll look.
Right.
I won't
you
touch.
need a glass of water, get you a bottle of water, something.
Right. I don't need to participate in any meaningful way.
Also, the reason we've never won the Shine Award, right?
Yeah, I think we
same guy.
We talked about.
We've talked about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did we even get here?
You were asking me what's the most pissed off I've ever seen Chip Foose. Yeah.
All right. What's the most pissed off you've ever seen Courtney?
Courtney's not really a pissed off person. I mean, she's so happy all the time.
Y'all can't be fucking happy, good looking, and talented.
It's Hollywood, dude.
It's
Hollywood. Dude.
That's bullshit.
That's the way it goes.
They forgot to put the MAD program in our robot brains. I don't think I've ever seen Courtney mad. I really don't. She's just bubble city. Yeah, I gotta disappoint you on that one.
Oh well. What's the maddest you ever seen Bud?
Bud gets pissed off.
He's the opposite. He's the opposite. Bud is armed at all times, by the way. He always has a knife. So,
Bud's probably got one of those Jack Hawk truck stop knives, the big long fixed blade that's tribal looking.
There's like 6 of them in.
Yeah.
It was given to him either by special forces
or some SEAL friend
of his
or
something. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But it's funny about Bud. Every time he greets me, and probably you guys too, if he knows you, his standard greeting is, a shake into a pull into an arm bar.
Yeah.
Just to kind of show his dominance when he first says hello. It's funny that during the first season of Overhaulin, we used to wrestle. Like Bud always wanted to wrestle because he was very into the mixed martial arts. So I remember we were at Robbie Gordon's shop one time, and I was dressed up for a prank as a police officer. So I had an Oxford on and some nice pants. And Bud and I start wrestling, and I split my pants in the back. And it was literally 10 minutes before we had to leave for the prank. So we're safety pinning my pants together. That was pretty funny. But no, Bud doesn't, he loves controversy and problems and stuff. So he really doesn't get pissed off. He prides himself on being able to resolve situations. We were at Wyotech in Wyoming one time, and there's a bar right by the school. We were doing an episode of the school. We were building the Speedbird, which was this beautiful modified 57 Bel Air that we did from a hardtop car into a convertible. But we went to this bar called the Buckhorn, and a fight broke out, and Bud just cannot stay out of the middle of the mix. I watched him. As soon as I saw the fight break up, there was 2 doors in the bar. He went out the one door because it was a crowded bar, and we were on one side and the fight was on the other side. Bud goes outside one door, cuts down the sidewalk, and comes in the other door so he can be right in the middle of the fight. It was hilarious.
And if a bar fight breaks out in Laramie, Wyoming, in a bar, I don't know that I want to be a part of it.
Well, if you're Bud, you're getting into it. He's got the skills to pull it off.
Right in there.
Man, I didn't know that Bud was a trained martial artist.
Better stop talking all that shit.
What's Bud been up to? I haven't heard much from him.
We haven't seen
Bud's always got stuff going on. Yeah, he's got Battle of the Builders at SEMA. Yep. He is very big in the production of a lot of Baja 1000, score events. Yep.
That's got to be tough for an all black suit too.
It's hot out there.
He's always ready. He's a ninja. It must be tough to pick out which black shirt and pants he's going to wear, each morning.
Well, I think you just
got. Is it going to be the short sleeve or the long sleeve?
They're laid out just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Exactly. He's like Richie Rich. You open his closet, he's just got a row of the same thing he's going to wear. But yeah, no, Bud is he's a character, and he's a gamer and a hustler. He's always got something going on. So fortunately, he throws me a job every once in a while. I hosted Launchpad last year at SEMA, but unfortunately, they're not doing it again this year.
I'll tell you what. This is not a shot to Bud, but so his wife Adrian, whatever they did on the now I can't even think the name of it. That shows how much I've seen it. But the car, what's the car insurance infomercial in the mornings and stuff? The car shield. Car shield. Yeah. Man, that thing runs. And maybe it's just when I get up in the mornings on Saturdays, we're going to the gym or whatever. It's Adrian on there for Car Shield every single set. And it's been on that for years. So kudos to them.
I haven't caught it.
Great one. It just keeps running.
I'm hoping she's getting paid every time it runs.
Oh, well, that's what I'm hoping too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your key takeaway after doing all of this in showbiz, car-related showbiz for the most part as well? For what's your takeaway, things that you would wish you would have known at an earlier age, or advice to other kids getting out there? You've got a lot of influencers out there, right? And social media, and everybody wants to be famous. But at the same time, I think there's going to be a swing back to traditional mainstream media at some point, because basically there's nothing to watch on TV anymore. And
just because you're still reading the newspaper doesn't mean it's going that way, Josh.
And I'm not saying newspaper, but I mean, you're going to have shows again. You're going to have
programs.
You're going to have produced, well done television shows. And I think that some people that have made a decent or okay living in social media influencing are going to have to start looking to some of that. So what's some advice that you would give them, or something that you wish you would have known?
Yeah, well, I think the advice that I would give somebody is to know your worth and to stay strong in don't devalue yourself just in order to get a job. A lot of times I would just, I wanted to be part of the production so badly, I would sign agreements that I thought were unfair. I thought that I was being underpaid. And so when I applied that knowledge to later projects and later deals, I recognized that, if you just stay strong to your value and really believe in what you're worth, that they will see it in the end too, because everyone's trying to get the best deal for themselves. But don't be afraid to say no to what you think is a bad offer or something that's going to devalue your brand. Because if you are truly worth it, then people are going to see that, and they're going to compensate you accordingly for that. I think that go ahead.
I got a question. So if it's interesting, and I think that makes a lot of sense. We talk about it in the car building side of things too. But do you ever wonder if you would have stood strong on those early roles and said, "Screw it, you're not paying me enough. I'm not going to be a part of this"? Would those same doors have opened down the road if you hadn't taken?
No, definitely not. And I don't regret what I think was devaluing myself in the very beginning, because when I first started Overhaulin, I mean, you would laugh as to what they were paying us per episode. But I was pretty green back then. I mean, I'd been an actor when I started in 95. So, 8 years I had been kind of scratching out a living doing commercials and TV show guest appearances. And, once in a while I'd do a movie. So when Overhaulin came along, it was my first offer of a regular job. And I think they only ordered 7 episodes in the first season. And the pay, again, was just like, it was like next to nothing. But I think I recognized that this show could, open doors and be like a launching pad to other stuff. So I said yes. And obviously it turned out to be a great decision because of all the other opportunities that I got from being on Overhaulin. And then obviously Overhaulin turned into a monster. So in that regard, I made the right decision. But you really have to think kind of, how is this going to affect me, 2, 3, 5 years down the road, especially if you're signing a multi-year contract. The answer to your question is, it would not have been the same. I would, if I had said no to Overhaulin, obviously, I wouldn't be here right now. I'm glad that I made the right decision then. But once you get some credits on your resume and you build up some leverage, that's when it's okay to say no to what you think is a lowball offer, and then perhaps they'll come back and give you more. And if it doesn't work out, then you gotta believe that you made the right decision, and more opportunities will come along.
Well, I know you got a hard out at 6:30, so we got 1 or 2 more questions, and we'll be wrapping this up.
You seem excited. Sure. You get some good ones, don't you?
You're still repping the red eye. You're still driving the red eye.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, I that's my daily driver.
So you go out to the red eye this evening when you're headed to your other engagement. Spotify connects, right? What's the song that it's playing?
Something by the Stones, probably. Can't You Hear Me Knocking?
Oh, that is a good one.
Sister Morphine, Stray Cat Blues. I mean, I'm super, super into 70s Stones. So that's probably what I've got it on. I've been very into Tom Petty lately. I play guitar, and at night to relax, I go out on the front porch with a glass of wine and my guitar, and I play along to my iPhone. And so I've been playing a lot of Tom Petty lately. So that's been on there. I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan, so maybe it's Grateful Dead. But yeah, no, I'm a classic rock guy to the bone.
Nice, good taste in music.
Think about all the ladies out there picturing Chris Jacobs sitting out there in his boxers, playing his guitar, drinking his wine on the front porch.
You're the only one thinking about him sitting in his boxers, dude.
Hey, you can recognize.
Like cargos or something. You don't know that.
Well, no, it's only Vanessa gets the private show. She comes out, she puts a blanket on the lawn, and it's so nice during the summer here in Toluca Lake. And so it's kind of a little treat. After we put Scarlett to bed, we usually put her to bed about 8:00, 8:30, and then we'll go out on the porch and just enjoy the evening.
You gonna stay in California till everybody's gone?
I'll turn the lights out after everybody leaves.
It's like Tom Bodette, man.
Yeah, we live in a little bubble. I mean, where we live in Burbank, we live in the Toluca Lake section of Burbank, and it really is just like one of the last true neighborhoods in LA. We're not in the shit, which there is a lot of in LA. It's kind of scary and very disheartening because of all the taxes that we pay to see like what's becoming of Southern California. But you know, the perks of living in California are just amazing. You know, we call it the weather tax. We pay what we pay in taxes because, you know, we get 310 days of perfect weather. And you got Vegas, and you got the beach, and you got the mountains, and you got Mexico, and you got Hawaii right there. So yeah, I think so. But you know, you'll never take the Chicago out of me. You know, I'm a Chicago born and raised, and I never miss a Bears home opener. I listen to most Cub games on my Sirius XM app. And so, yeah, I bleed Chicago blue.
Italian beef or Chicago style hot dog?
I gotta go Vienna. Yeah, I'm a Vienna guy. I love a classic, good, you know, steamed bun and
extra ketchup, right? Extra ketchup.
No, there's no
you get your ass whooped for saying
crazy?
something like that, dude.
I've learned. That's why I brought it up. What's the social media channels where they can find you?
Instagram is my main one. It's at Chris Jacobs 70. That links to my Facebook, and that's. I'm not too active on formerly known as Twitter, where they call it X now.
Yeah, X.
So Instagram at Chris Jacobs 70 is where you can find me easiest.
And then at Finale Speed, right, on Instagram?
At Finale Speed on Instagram as well. Please check that out. Give us a follow there. I try to share as much Finale Speed content on my channel as well, so people can see it and hopefully give Finale a follow. But yeah, if you're going to be at SEMA, definitely come by either the Dynamat booth or the Wheel Pros booth and check out our cars. And we're super proud of them, and looking forward to keep the forward momentum going.
Well, dude, nothing but the best of luck to you. Hope we can hook up here in a few weeks when you come out for the opener. And before you go, you cared about giving us a liner. You know, this is Chris Jacobs. You're listening to Oil and Whiskey, something like that.
Oh, you got it.
Awesome.
What's up, everybody? Chris Jacobs here, and you are listening to Oil and Whiskey.
Appreciate it, man.
Nailed it.
Hope to see you soon.
Of course.
Take care, dude.
Yeah,
it's great
man,
hanging.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, later, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Late.
It's time for a whiskey review. What time is it?
It's time for whiskey review.
Or is it whiskey review time?
Whiskey review time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
Fucking
Nice,
A. It's
nice
been a while.
vibrato, buddy.
Been a while.
Damn. Dude, hey, put it right there. That was something.
I'm not going to high five yet.
You don't like jingles.
I don't.
But you're not cool.
All right, you bang out a jingle like that, you get first crack at that whiskey review.
George Remus. It's been sitting up there for a while.
Been hiding out in the corner. That's why.
Not hiding out. It's been right there in front of my eyes, and I'm like, I don't want to try it.
I don't see it from
It doesn't do anything for me.
I don't see it from my angle.
Oh, I've been seeing it, and nothing about it when I seen it there, or I see it at the shelves, or I have nothing about it.
Is it the look of George Remus
Yeah, George Remus got a little shitty look on his face. He's got a little bit like, don't drink me. I'm not any good.
That's what he's saying, huh?
No, it's just everything about it. It looks like a fake bourbon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The label's not real inviting.
This would be like a bourbon you would get in the gift shop at Dollywood, right?
No, you wouldn't, because it's a dry county, dude. You would
something like Dollywood.
The Dells, maybe Wisconsin Dells. Okay.
So, but
it's the king of bourbons.
I will say that this turned out to be really good. Do you know why it was probably good?
Why is that?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because in 2022, Garfield's Beverage Warehouse and Liquor Emporium selected this as a single barrel.
So you think it's just that barrel that's that good? Because
I'm going to give the credit
Dave Garfield himself.
I'm going to give the credit to old Dave.
Okay. You might have something there.
No bullshit. This was the third bourbon tonight. We tried two before.
We struggled.
Yep.
We've had a bad run lately.
We spat them out, and we didn't drink them. We had to go to this, and we we were starting to run out of shit to do, and
that's our last unopened bottle.
I actually really enjoyed it. Didn't know what to expect at first.
I enjoyed it as well until I decided to inhale it and choke to death mid-podcast.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up later. You look like an idiot.
Yeah, I'm aware
It was
of that.
super funny because now I'm going to ask for that on a loop.
No, we're going to cut that
Make
out.
that your
No, they're not
ringtone.
going to cut
We're
it
going
out.
to edit that.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They can edit it out of the podcast, but I'll personally have it.
You will not have it.
I will. It'll be on my phone every time you call me over.
What's it going to do?
No?
When I call you. So, hey, this is me calling. Hold on. Here. What's it going to do?
You guys can have it on each other's phones.
Okay.
George Remus straight bourbon whiskey, distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. I would assume this is an MGP product. Ross and Squibb Distillery. Don't know a lot about it. You see it all the time, for the most part, on the shelves.
$50, $60 price point.
Yeah. It's 114 proof. Does not drink like 114 proof to me. I don't think it's that spicy.
I got a good chest burn out of it.
Maybe I'm dead because of the 2,000 proof that we tasted
all the
prior
taste
to
buds off.
that shit. I guarantee we could go down there and start any car down there off of it.
On which one?
That Penelope, Chicago, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't even bring that like within a foot of your nose without.
Yeah, it's bad. But
Rate it, dude. You've talked about it enough. Rate it. I'm sick of hearing you talk, to be honest with you.
I'd like to hear you cough again.
Would you?
That'd be cool. Guess what? I can just watch this podcast and I'll be able to see it over
No,
and
you won't,
over
because
and
it's gonna
over.
be edited
It's
out.
not. It won't be edited out. It'll stay.
I doubt Elliot's going to make a clip out of that either.
Yeah.
He's not. He's got probably an annual review coming
Dude, I
up
thought we
soon.
were going to have to like revive you or something like that. You died for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You think did I stop breathing?
You did.
I needed resuscitation. That's how
It
badass
was
I am.
quite off-putting.
I just-
to
I
our
just
guests.
forced myself
You
back
look
into breathing.
Stupid.
So between that and his fucking sneezing nonstop over here,
Who's fucking sneezing?
that'd be you.
Me? When did I sneeze?
You've got
There's
this-
several sneezes.
Oh, now we're just making things up.
We're going to go back to the tape.
You've sneezed a few times. You might not. What is?
You like a child? That's
Somebody's-
what. Hey, see,
somebody's
that's what happened.
done something
Didn't
to
your
my-
mom ever tell you that when you were a kid
Oh.
that God punished you?
This one.
Yeah,
This
that's
one-
what happens.
This one leaked.
My mom used to say that
That pen leaked.
because I was an
I
asshole.
think you've sabotaged.
I was an asshole, and then when something bad had happened, that's what she'd
Yeah.
say.
Well,
Well, that's what happened to you.
George Remus. I'm gonna give it a. Let's try it one more time.
Pinky out.
I thought it was actually pretty good. I'm gonna give it an even 7. It's an even 7.
Okay, get your ink hands off of my fancy faceted glass, would you?
Yeah, I will. I'm finished now.
Okay, good. 7's a good review. That's where I'm at too. 7-0.
I think both of you are a little bit reaching after the last few horrible ones. So I'm going to go 6.5.
Phil, you don't
wasn't
like
liking it.
You don't like any type of spice. No, it's nothing bad. It's not a shot at you, but you like way smoother, lower proof bourbon.
I like some of the high proof. This one's just burning my chest real bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Phil's more like a hazy IPA kind of guy, like a super hazy, spicy mango IPA.
He's going to be like, I get a slapped across the face kind of guy in a second.
Yes, that'd be cool.
That would be actually kind of
Not
cool.
as cool as you coughing, because that was fucking cool for us.
That was probably the fastest recovery from a near-death experience I've ever seen in my life.
I got nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Of course you don't, because you agree. That was choked,
How near to death do you think you were?
choking, not choking that fast. That's how quickly I recovered.
Do you think you were closer to death right then, or when you had COVID?
Oh, definitely COVID, because I literally almost died.
I know you did. You were close too. I was like,
So-
"Fuck, this dude's gonna die," and I never even got it. Thanks for listening.
I'm glad we can joke about it.
Now we can. You were fine. We just weren't going out to lunch anymore.
Had that cool scuba diving tank.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to go out to lunch. That's
Dude,
the
that
kind.
was-
That's the kind of friend. You guys are.
It was so extra.
Yeah.
It was so much.
When I'm with,
can you pull the truck around the front? I got to get my stuff in. Open the back.
when I'm on my deathbed, surviving on supplemental oxygen, and I'm told, what was it, that it's off-putting?
I was like, this is a lot to take you out to lunch. Why don't tomorrow I'll just go get us something we can eat here? Because it was so, like, you got to admit, tables are turned.
I
Dude,
admit,
short of
dude.
you being in a wheelchair, there was no more extra that we could have had. I would have been fine with you being in a wheelchair because I got a van easier than getting, like,
Just sent them.
yeah, they not make a shorter hose for that?
They do it.
You had 600 feet
That's
of
what
hose.
they fucking gave me, okay? It's just what they gave me.
Yeah, well,
I,
I'm so glad that's over.
I hope I still have that hose so I could wrap it around your fucking neck.
Thanks for listening to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original.
There's going to be a lot of editing on that one.
Maybe not. I think we should leave everything in there. We'll see you again next week, fellas. At least me and Phil. Jeremy has another coughing fit like that. We won't be seeing him.